Padatha Pinkali, the bird that doesn't sing. Lucy, a well-to-do and pious young lady, was conversing with her friend and neighbor, Chinnamma. Their tranquil conversation was abruptly disrupted when Thankachan, a passerby on a motorbike, suffered a fall. In a moment of crisis, Chinnamma, without hesitation, ripped a piece of her own garment to staunch the bleeding from Thankachan's wound. As Lucy, her heart heavy with unrequited love for the injured man, returned with a first aid kit, she couldn't shake the feeling of helplessness. Chinnamma, the daughter of a struggling schoolteacher, Luca, faced constant criticism from her harsh mother. As an unmarried woman of a certain age, she was a frequent target of her mother's scorn. When Luca returned home, her relentless complaints further aggravated his already strained mood, pushing him to the brink of anger. Later, they gathered to pray together. Katichan and Orochi, Lucy's affluent parents, viewed Luca's family with contempt, their social status and wealth setting them apart. Forced by financial hardship, Chinnamma took up daily wage labor on a tapioca farm. Inexperienced with the arduous work, she accidentally injured her finger. In a moment of desperation, her co-workers carried her to the nearest dwelling, seeking refuge and aid. Fate, it seemed, had led them to Thankachan's doorstep. Thankachan conveyed his sincere appreciation to Chinnamma for her assistance during the accident. He inquired about her vocal abilities, suggesting a potential musical collaboration with his flute. However, Chinnamma declined the proposition. As the housemaid was forced to depart due to an unforeseen circumstance, Chinnamma stepped forward, offering her help to ease Thankachan's mother's burden. Lucy's thoughts were constantly occupied by Thankachan. As night fell, the enchanting melody of his flute filled the air, captivating Chinnamma, who was beginning to harbor feelings for him. Jaggery Varki, the son of Jaggery Matai, aspired to marry Chinnamma. To achieve this goal, he endeavored to influence the marriage broker, Pilishan. Chinnamma restrained her goat and left the vicinity. When Lucy's mother attempted to control the animal, it reacted aggressively, injuring her. This escalated into a confrontation between Katichan and Luca, which was eventually quelled by Ashan's intervention. In a shocking turn of events, Katichan pressed charges against Luca, resulting in his imprisonment. Ashan, ever the protector, stepped in to rescue his friend from the clutches of the law. Lucy made efforts to draw closer to Thankachan. Fueled by a desire to see Lucy and Thankachan together, Katichan sought the assistance of the cunning marriage broker, Pilishan. Lucy seized the opportunity to convey her feelings to Thankachan through a secret letter. Jaggery Matai consented to the marriage of his son Varki to Chinnamma, stipulating a dowry of 500 rupees. To fulfill this financial obligation, Luca intended to sell his land. Thankachan paid a visit to Chinnamma, addressing her with the affectionate epithet, "a bird that doesn't sing." She disclosed her romantic feelings for him but informed him of her impending marriage to Varki. A timely phone call from her mother necessitated their parting. A storm of lies and deceit was unleashed by the malicious Pilishan as he visited Thankachan's mother, painting a distorted picture of Chinnamma. Thankachan, unable to bear the slander, confronted the broker with a fit of rage. Thankachan visited Chinnamma's residence, but she and her father Luca were not present. Her mother, known for her abrasive nature, treated him with disdain. Upon Chinnamma's return, she inquired about the reason for Thankachan's visit, only to be reprimanded by her mother. A humbling experience awaited Luca and his son as they visited his wealthy brother-in-law, Pathachan. Despite their familial ties, they were relegated to the floor to dine, a stark reminder of their social disparity. Luca solicited financial assistance from Pathachan for Chinnamma's wedding. While Pathachan initially expressed willingness to help, his wife's intervention resulted in the denial of the request. A raging storm battered the land, delaying Luca and his son's return home. The elements took their toll on Luca's health, as he fell victim to a relentless fever. Traditional remedies proved ineffective, forcing him to seek medical attention at the hospital. A desperate act of sacrifice was made as they sold their beloved goat and lamb to secure the funds needed for Luca's treatment. However, his condition continued to deteriorate, forcing the doctor to prescribe urgent medication, leaving Chinnamma burdened with the task of acquiring it. A wave of despair washed over Chinnamma as she realized she lacked the funds to procure the life-saving medication. She turned to her impoverished neighbors and friends, pleading for help. Though they extended their limited resources, a cruel twist of fate left her 24 rupees short. Desperate and drenched, Chinnamma braved the raging storm to seek help from Thankachan's mother. The relentless wind and rain tested her resolve, delaying her arrival at his doorstep. Thankachan offered Chinama the much-needed financial assistance. With the storm raging outside, he urged her to seek shelter, offering her a safe haven for the night. Chinama reached Thavi's hut and shared the news of Thankachan's kindness with Thavi and her father. Thavi accompanied her to the hospital. A miracle unfolded as the doctor's swift injection brought Luca back from the brink of unconsciousness. A poignant tale unfolded as Lucy shared the secret of Thankachan's past. She recounted his childhood in Singapore, where he forged a deep bond with a girl named Chidia, whom he used to call Little Bird. Her tragic passing ignited a flame within him, inspiring him to express his grief through the soulful melodies of his flute. Thevis's father visits Luca at the hospital. A revelation unfolded as he shared the tale of Chinama's desperate act. He recounted the night she braved the storm to seek help from Thankachan. A wave of disbelief and anger washed over Luca as he misconstrued Chinama's intentions. He wrongly concluded that she had exchanged physical favors for the money, a thought that filled him with rage and disgust. Consumed by anger and misunderstanding, Luca verbally and physically assaulted Chinama upon her arrival at the hospital. A compassionate nurse intervened, chastising Luca for his cruelty and offering solace to the injured Chinama. After being discharged from the hospital, Luca was unable to resume his teaching duties due to ill health. Consequently, the school management forced him into retirement. A weight lifted from Luca's heart as the fog of misunderstanding cleared, revealing the true nature of Chinama's selfless act. Ashan brokered a deal to sell land between Luca and Katichan. Katichan offered a partial payment of 300 rupees, promising to settle the remaining 400 rupees within 2 days. In a desperate bid to secure immediate funds, Luca reluctantly accepted the offer. A storm of familial discord erupted as Jaggery Varki's sister vehemently opposed the marriage with Chinama. Her objections ignited a fiery argument. Her husband, that is Varki's brother-in-law, joins them, which ends up in physical violence. Through the kind offices of her neighbor, Esthapan, Chinama returned the borrowed funds to Thankachan, accompanied by a letter. A sinister plot unfolds on Chinama's wedding day as Katichan deliberately defaults on his 400 rupee promise to sabotage the event. Undeterred, Ashan vows to salvage the situation by acquiring the necessary funds before the wedding ceremony commences. With the weight of everyone's blessings upon her, Chinama embarks on her journey to the church, ready to embrace her new life. Upon reading Chinama's sincere letter, Thankachan was consumed by melancholy, reflecting upon the depth of her affection for him. With all arrangements for the wedding finalized, Katichan commissioned Pilishan to instigate Jaggery Matai to demand the dowry. Helpless and alone, Luca's desperation grows as he waits for Ashan. A moment of vulnerability is exploited by Varki's aggressive brother-in-law, until Esthapan bursts onto the scene, delivering a decisive blow to the attacker. Disturbed by the commotion, the priest emerges and admonishes everyone to cease the fighting within the sacred church grounds. He then attempts to reason with Jaggery Matai, explaining the immorality of halting the marriage solely for dowry. In a shocking display of arrogance, Katichan overrules the priest, insisting that the wedding will not proceed. The priest, unable to quell the chaos, orders everyone to leave the church. Upon arriving at the church for his scheduled Bethoral function, Thankachan was disheartened to learn of the abrupt cancellation of Chinama's wedding ceremony. The sacred space of the church witnesses a heartfelt conversation between Thankachan and Lucy. As Thankachan reveals his longing for Chinama, Lucy's tears speak volumes of her understanding and support. Thankachan and Chinama are united in marriage, leaving Katichan devastated and Pothachan stunned. In a surprising twist, Chinama, once called the bird that doesn't sing, joins Thankachan in a harmonious duet. Heartbroken and disillusioned, Lucy turns to faith for solace. She embraces a life of solitude and service, entering a convent to find peace and purpose. The movie ends.